Okay, once again I'm starting from point number B, that is being bisexual. That means pea plants produce bisexual flower. That is why these plants are normally self-pollinated, but cross-pollination could be done artificially. C number, pea plants are annual. You know the which plants are called annual plant. Their lifetime is very short. Therefore, several generations could be studied within a short period of time. D number, pea plants produced large number of offsprings. E number, varieties are available in pure form and produced offsprings of only one type of generation, one type generation after generation. That means pure plants means when both the alleles are same. In the next point, the definition of alleles are given. I am clarifying in the next point what is allele. Then 3 number point, important terms to understand Mendel's work. There are some important terms which are very closely related with Mendel's work, like allele, dominant, recessive, genotype, phenotype, homozygous, heterozygous, all these. Some are given here. Number 1, allele. Actually, there are 2 genes for every character. For example, plant height. Plant height is the character. It consists of 2 alternative genes, one for tallness, another for dwarfness, that is shortness. So these 2 genes, I mean 2 alternative forms of genes, is called allele. So once again I am repeating the definition given here. There are 2 genes for every character. Alleles are the alternative forms of gene which occupy the same position on a pair of homologous chromosome. Now see the diagram given here. One pair of homologous chromosome is showing here. One is blue in color and another is red in color. The character which are dominant, they are indicated by using capital letters, and the recessive characters are indicated by small letters. You just go to the diagram. The position of capital A in blue chromosome and the position of small a in red chromosome are same. That means the genes occupy the same position on a pair of homologous chromosome. Now, it is not necessary that always one chromosome will carry dominant character, another chromosome will carry the recessive characters only. Instead of that, in the place of small a, it can be capital A also in red chromosome. Instead of capital B in blue chromosome, it may be small b also. Then the character will be pure. If both the alleles are same, that means the character is pure, and if both the alleles are not same, both dominant and recessive alleles are there, that means it is heterozygous character, and the same allele having the same allele, it is called homozygous character. So I think you understood what is the definition of allele. Then dominant, I have already discussed. Dominant means in presence of both the allele, dominant and recessive allele, the character which is shown or which can be expressed, that is called dominant. Out of 2 alleles, one is dominant, one is recessive. Always the dominant allele will be, or the dominant character will be expressed, and recessive character will not be expressed. The character which will be expressed, that is called dominant character or dominant allele, and the allele which will not be expressed, that is called recessive allele. So go through the definition given here. when two allelomorphic genes representing the alternative forms of a character, that means opposite forms of character, that is tall, short, or black eye color, brown eye color, anything can be given here. So alternative forms of a character come together. Usually one is expressed. The character which is expressed, that is dominant character. So one is expressed fully is called dominant allele. And recessive allele, the allele which will not be expressed or which will be suppressed by the dominant allele, that is called recessive allele. So see the definition. The allele that fails to express itself in the presence of its contrasting dominant allele is called recessive allele. That means when one dominant and one recessive allele is there, always the dominant allele will be expressed. Dominant allele will not allow the recessive allele to express. Then next definition, that is phenotype. Phenotype is the external appearance of an organism. External appearance of an organism is called phenotype, that can be seen from outside. And genotype is the genetic makeup or genetic constitution of an organism that cannot be seen from outside. The same definitions I'm giving in the monohybrid cross, then it will be clear to you. You just try to keep it in mind. That is, phenotype means external appearance that can be seen from outside. Genotype, the genetic constitution, the genetic makeup of an organism, it is called genotype. I am not explaining why capital T, capital T, small t are given here. Then monohybrid cross. Now what is monohybrid cross? Monohybrid cross is the study of inheritance of a character which is controlled by a single pair of genes. The first study of monohybrid inheritance was done by Mendel. Mendel selected two sets of pure breeding pea plants with contrasting characters for height. We have already learned that height is the character and two alternative forms of height are tall and dwarf. So you just go through the diagram given in right hand side. Mendel has taken two pea plants. One is pure tall or homozygous tall. Homo means same. Another one is pure dwarf or homozygous dwarf. So these two are the parent plant. That is why in left hand side parent generation is written. So when crossbreed is done between these two plants, then the tall plant will produce gametes. All the gametes will be T, single T, and dwarf plant will produce gametes and all are small t. Then when capital T fuse small t, then the combination will be capital T and small t. Capital T, small t. Capital T is the dominant and small t is the recessive character. That is why the offsprings produced by crossing one tall plant and one dwarf plant, these offsprings are produced in F1 generation. The first generation is called F1 generation, that is first filial generation. In this generation all the plants are having genotype, that is capital T, small t. That means from outside they will be tall because capital T is there. That is why from outside all plants will be tall, but they are not pure tall. They are heterozygous tall because they also contain recessive gene. Then Mendel has selected two plants again from F1 generation. That is two plants having heterozygous character. Heterozygous two plants selected and again crossbreed. Then